in this lesson I'm going to show you how to check if the lights on the image are even, and if not, how to fix that. So of course it's easy to spot some of the major differences like this one, but we cannot see on such a wide background the differences between the lights where the difference is not so strong. So to find these spots, first of all, we need to make the image black and white. To do this, I'm going to choose Hue, Saturation, and I'm going to desaturate the image to -100. And to make sure that the lights are represented correctly, I'm going to change the blending mode to color. As you can see, color and normal is a huge difference because, of course, each color illuminates the light in the different way. So to make sure we do not affect these illuminating colors, change blending mode to color. So now we have the real representation of the lights. It's easier to see the lights on black and white image than it is on the color image, but this is not everything. What I'm going to do next, maybe below this black and white layer, is going to darken this image. Remember that what I'm doing right now is not the process of retouching, but I'm doing something to see the differences on this white floor over here. So now we can see some more differences, but still not enough. We don't want to darken this curve too much. Till this point, I would say, is a limit. And to see more, we can simply duplicate these layers. So to do it, I'm going to press Command or Control and J. And as I'm doing this once, as you see, I can see many troubled areas now. If I would do it more, I can see even more. So luckily, I will not ask you to do it every single time, because in this course, as always in my courses, I'm delivering the actions. And in the action folder, there is action called BW, so black and white help layer. We can activate this without making it. So first of all, one layer is of course hue saturation, then I have darken layer, and what we can do, we can just duplicate these layers later on to make it a little bit darker. So this is the help layer or help group, and it's crucial for seeing the lights. But now, how to fix the lights? And there is two ways. One way, which is a little bit more settled and is better for the skin, is using the curves. So for example, if I would create the curve layer, increase the brightness here, and then invert this curve layer to the color black to make it not visible. I could rename this into Dutch. And then on this Dutch layer, make sure you always work on the layer mask. I could choose a brush. Of course, white color of the brush, maybe flow, I will lower to 5%. It could be 10, depending on what you find comfortable. And these dark spots, as you can see, I can brighten. So by doing this, I can make the differences between the lights smaller, and then in the areas that are too bright, I could create another curve adjustment layer, darken this, invert, rename into the burn because it's darkening, and try to paint on these bright spots. Also, to not ask you to do it every single time, you can also use my actions, Dutch and Burn. They look a little bit different, as you can see, because they're in the group, but there is no difference between them. So in the group, I created this additional saturation layer. In case there would be some difference in the saturation, you can move it. In the image like this, it should not appear only on the skin. But of course, for the product, I need stronger dodging and stronger burning, because otherwise it would be not enough. And then on these layer masks, I could simply paint on it. And this is how it works. As you can see, not really a complicated idea behind the touch and burn. Probably the execution is a little bit more difficult, but with enough practice, it should not be a problem. So this is how you work. Sometimes when you see major difference like this one, you can always go back to the clean layer and try to solve it with this. So the thing is about darkening the image, you can see much more, and you can see the things that are useful not only for touch and burn, but also for cleaning. When we get too close to the object, of course, that would be difficult to do on the empty layer, so then with help would come touch and burn. And simply, this is how you work using this touch and burn technique. Now let's move to the next lesson. I'm going to show you another touch and burn technique that could be a little bit better for the product retouching.